All right, welcome. We are here to learn a little bit about Google Images, some of the usefulness of the tool and the importance of it, and some different features. So let's jump right into it. I'm going to search pottery. I'm an art teacher. So you have your basic web search and results for this word, but we want to go to images. It's the third tab over. And so we have a lot of information about pottery. And so we want to get a little bit more specific about what kind of pottery. So at the top, it's nice that they've generated different ideas that you may be already interested. So let's say you want something that's handmade. And so there are some images that are handmade right here, and even ones that you could buy. So that's cool. Let's say you only want handmade things that are porcelain, which is a white clay. There's gray and red and brown, lots of other ones in between. Some of these are glazed though, so you don't see the clay body, but here's some porcelain pieces without color. Okay, so simple things right there. So that's good for right now. So let's go back. And maybe another tool or filters that we have, we're going to drop down from tools. And so we're going to look at size. Now, if I go to more tools, you're going to be able to go to show sizes. And so on each picture, it's going to show you the size of the image when it was taken. And so I'm going to give you a comparison between two of them. So this would be considered a large one because you can see the ratio right here. And this one would be a much smaller one. But if you don't have these sizes pulled up, you can just switch them when you go to this size option. So I'm going to click on large and find a large image. So let's go to the first one. And it's loading right now, so you can see this bar right here. It's ready. So if we were to zoom in, you're going to be able to see with clarity the different details and textures of this image. But let's go back and find a smaller image. So I'm going to go to any size, although I could adjust them however that I wanted to. But there's that one that I already showed you before. And so if we look at this one, it's 330 by 220. It doesn't really need to load. It's a smaller format, smaller detail. If I were to use it in a way that I needed to zoom in to show my students something, or as a teacher to demonstrate something, then obviously you can see it's a lot more blurry, pixelated, and unclear. So for that purpose of using some type of demonstration with visuals, I would probably not want to use that one. But maybe for an icon, I could use that. Color, let's just say you wanted to do yellow. Now there's no yellow clay bodies, but most of these are going to be glazed artworks. So if you look around, all of these are glazed with yellow, some type of yellow glaze. Let's take that one off. We'll come back to usage rights. That's very important as a teacher, but also for students to be aware about. But we'll come back to that at the end. The type is pretty cool. I really don't use animated that much, but you could use it to embed into some type of slideshow, or you can use it for a demonstration. They're very short and brief clips of some type of motion. Line drawing is pretty good, and we do in the drawing curriculum teach about contour line drawing. So as you can see, you're going to have a lot of black and white, positive and negative space. They're very simple, but also there are some with lots of details, but that's line drawing. There's clip art, so these are more cartoonish looking, but you've incorporated color and shapes and line. So that is clip art. And the other one that's going to be automatically popped up is photo, because most of the time we're taking photos of images and putting them onto Google. So Time really is only something that you may or may use if you're doing something historical. So if you want to put in some custom time range, or I don't know, maybe you're doing a shoe search for Nike Jordans, and you want it to be something that came out in the past 24 hours, something recent, or a World Cup is going on right now. So maybe you only want the updated images about the past 24 hours games. So yeah. And that's pretty much the gist of Google Images. The last thing that I wanted to cover is usage rights. So this is very key. As an artist, we want to be informing our students about not copying, copyrights, and digital citizenship, and just how we're being responsible about our images and how we're using them. So you can simply go to label for reuse. Now, I will say that this is going to cut back on images a lot. Because not everyone wants their information and images used without getting some type of credit. So as you can see, I don't have any of the same images, I believe, from my first regular search. Now, I still have a lot of stuff. Depending on how specific your search is, will determine how many results you have. So that's still a good amount of results that I have that I can use. Now, if you are in Google Slides, or if you are in another platform of Google, its automatic setting is labeled for reuse with modifications. So it's letting you know that you can reuse it and you can modify the image. So think about your goals of what you are sharing with your students, or think about as a student the goals of why you're using the images for an assignment or whatnot, or a presentation. And you need to make sure that you are filtering your images by those results. So I hope I showed you a lot of information about Google Images. It's pretty simple, but it's a great tool for you to get specific about the needs of your project or whatnot. All right, have a good one.